We're gonna have an organic conversation. I'm not into visuals, I'm not into all that type of stuff. I really just talk to you guys about who I am, what I do, and why I'm here. So, to give you a little synopsis of my life, for the past 25 plus years, I own a private security firm. Sorry? I own a private security firm. I'm a bodyguard by trade. I was a bouncer in the nightclubs, all that type of stuff, events and everything in the city of Boston and throughout the world, actually. I began my company I have a high school diploma. No, sorry, I don't have a high school diploma. Forgive me, I haven't written all this stuff down. I'd rather just have a conversation with you guys. But I started a business just by accident and was very lucky, and I've been very lucky and blessed in what I've done for the last 25 plus years. You name someone who's in the entertainment field and they came to Boston or anywhere in New England, they had to go through me for security. So I was blessed, but with that blessings, there's a lot of turmoil. If you know anything about that kind of work, most people go to nightclubs and places like that because they're going to get drunk or they've had a bad day or just need to kind of decompress. So through my work, I've been shot, stabbed. That's why I'm here with jeans and stuff. I have shorts and everything. I'm a very simple person. I didn't want to play dress up. I want to come and just be me. So just so you can see the visuals and stuff, so when you know what I'm talking about, you can literally see the scars. And if you need my medical records, I can put those up too. But it kind of what began my journey. Now, growing up, I grew up in the hoods of Boston. You're saying about the hood, neighborhoods is what the word means. It's not hood, it's some enigma. We all live in different neighborhoods. But in the city of Boston, growing up, I was born in 1970, so growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was a normal city, the normal things that go on in the city. But for me, it was always kind of different. The world was always kind of different. When I was younger, I had my first ghost experience at the age of 7. We lived in a brownstone, and my grandfather, he was in the military, he died way before I was born. He died when my mother was actually young. He just came to me one day, just had a conversation. He came to me in a full sailor's uniform, standing before me, walking from one room to the next. My grandma's in the other room, and I had this man sitting before me having a conversation. Turns out his name was Joseph, which is my name. It turns out he's actually the person I'm named after. But I had never seen a picture of him, never knew anything about this man, nothing at all. They never taught me, they felt I was too young to understand about death and stuff. I encountered death. So the conversation that I had with him, I hear my grandma in the other room, she's like, come in, who are you talking to, Joseph? So I'm talking to Joseph. Well, who's Joseph? The guy with the sailor outfit on. Now, why this isn't weird is because we had a big house, 4 floors in a basement. We used to have boarders and stuff, so there were always different people in the house from all over the world. Artists, different things would come to our houses, and so it didn't seem odd to have this man sitting before me. So I explained to my grandmother who he was. She takes out a book and she shows me pictures of him. I'm like, that's the guy, who is that? That's your grandfather. And then she explained all that to me. And from that moment on, my life kind of changed with her. She seemed to be more doting, she was very, very weird about how she dealt with me, how she seemed to I seemed like I was her favorite thing in the world. And she would bathe me and say prayers. She had a crystal ball. Now, all this stuff I found out later in life because I didn't understand it. She had a crystal ball. She apparently saw the future because she seemed to understand what my life was going to be like and what I would need in the future. It was always kind of planned out, and I didn't understand that until a few years ago, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But not understanding what she saw in me, she would say things like, you have the je ne sais quoi, which means the it factor. And she would say these things to me as a kid and always tell me, go be an artist, explore your art, read a book. I was always a book reader, I always had books. I didn't care about much of anything else. I was a nerd. I like comic books and sci-fi books and things like that. But the encyclopedias, the Bible, anything I could get my hands on, I would read. I loved to read. And these are things that she instilled in me. Well, my grandmother died when I was 12 years old. So at that point, things kind of picked up in our house. And it seemed like there was a lot of paranormal activity that was the status quo. Now this is the thing that I find in my culture, and my family is very diverse, but all the cultures of my family that have come together is that when you start talking about things like this, it's a status quo. If they believe it, but they don't want to talk about it. It's cool, we know what's going on. We know it's out there, but just leave it be. Let sleeping dogs lie. Those things, they say these certain phrases. So you go through your whole life thinking, all right, well, this is just normal. So as I said earlier, I had gotten shot at work. I don't know if I said that, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But in 2003, I got shot at work. And my body, I got hit with 2 hollow point bullets, which just ripped my leg apart. My inside of my leg is all titanium. Got a plate and stuff down to my ankle and everything. But I suffered from severe infections due from the gunpowder. It had a horrible effect on my leg.